next item, and then we'll go back to her.
Yeah, I was planning on doing that, but I just wanted to make sure she wasn't on. How about Miss Erica Eggleton from Community Access?
She's here.
Hi, Miss Eggleton. Are you ready?
Hi. Sure. So I am the program director at 985 Bruckner Boulevard. My supervisor, Jill Ercolano, is also on this call. So we're both from Community Access. 985 Bruckner opens, I want to say, around May, June, right, Jill?
Yep.
And as of now, we are fully rented up and in business.
Okay, so how is everything as far as security? Have there been any incidents or any type of police interactions with the residents of the program at your location?
So we do have 24-hour front desk security that, check in visitors and receive packages and do that sort of stuff. There have been some interactions with the police. It's a big building, 215 units. So like any other apartment building, there have been no major events to really report.
How often, since May, how often would you say the frequency would have been with police interaction?
That's kind of hard to say. We also have 103 affordable housing units within the building. And so we don't necessarily engage with them. So they might also be calling police, but those aren't numbers that I necessarily have off the top of my head. I'd have to kind of look into that.
Oh, okay. So basically, about the program that you have at your location, could you give us some information about it? I know we spoke and we had a presentation in the past, but currently, since you have residents living in the building, how is that going along with the other tenants at the location?
So it's a 215 unit building. We have 91 supportive SROs, 20 supportive family units, and then we also have 103 affordable housing units. So Community Access, we're a housing first model. We're providing services to these people. If needed, if anybody from the affordable housing units needs any type of support, we would be there to support them as well. Interactions have been doing well. Obviously, it's COVID, so there also haven't been that many interactions, unfortunately. We're not able to kind of build that community that we would like to because we are trying to socially distance and promote that as well within the building. But so far, things have been going well.
Okay, so would you generally say that, what about the businesses in the location? Have you had any complaints in reference to any of your tenants in your building, like McDonald's or the train station or anything like that?
No, we did have a couple of tenants who had their cars broken into, but that seems to be something that's been going on in the neighborhood for some time. So that was maybe one issue that we've probably had within the neighborhood. Other than that, no other complaints or concerns.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay, so as far as the services that you offer, are they being given daily to I know you said something about COVID, but are they still giving daily services to the individuals that need? Do they have to say they need it, or are they automatically given?
They are given. We have staff on site 7 days a week. Like I said, it's not 100% capacity in terms of staff because of COVID and everybody's trying to stay safe. But services are given to tenants who are open to them. I don't necessarily say we would force services on a specific tenant, but we are there to support them.
Okay. Could you just please put your how you say, your contact information in the chat, so for further reference, just in case we need to have issue, or if the community has an issue, or if anyone has some concern with the your services or the building.
Sure. I'm just. What do you mean by issue or a concern? Just if they have questions about the building?
Yeah, well, at housing, most committees, you have some people who would be, like everybody say, oh, there's a bunch of people standing outside the building. They might have concern about that. Not saying it with your building particularly, but if it does happen, I've had people call, me in the office saying that, oh, you got a lot of loitering, you got a lot of hanging out, you got people hanging out, smoking weed, things of that nature. Not to say that that's for your particular building, but that's what I'm talking about in that reference.
So for any apartment building within this,
right.
Within
That's
this
what I
unit.
usually
Okay.
say for all apartment buildings, not just you. You're not singled out because the type of, it's not a singled out situation. I ask all builders so that we can have a relationship and we can come together and help each other. Because sometimes building management, they need help in certain situations and circumstances. So that's why I just personally do that, just in case, you have an issue or concern that you might need our assistance with.
Okay.
And
So is there any questions?
Questions. I have questions.
Okay.
So I want to thank, I guess, Erica, and I see Jill for coming on. Erica, how long have you been there as the director?
Since August, I started my transition, and I've been with Community Access about 10 or 11 years now.
Oh, great. What happened to the other program director?
Why are we asking?
Yeah, that's not.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious,
She left.
Good.
We can't
Okay.
disclose
Okay.
anything about personnel, which I'm sure.
No, that's fine. I'm just, she's no longer with you. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
But
So
out
we
of the
were really
103
lucky that Erica was able to come over.
Great.
In
Great.
June,
And
August.
Great. And then out of the 103 community apartments, how many of those went back to Board 2?
We're not in charge of property management, Ralph, so that would be something that we would have to check in with the property management department on. We don't do, program doesn't have anything to do with the lottery.
That's fine. And can you look into that and get back to us with that?
Sure, I'll have them get back to you for sure.
Okay. And then my is your building on Tinton, is that still with not Tinton, on Polite Avenue? I'm sorry, Polite Avenue is in my district. Your building on Polite Avenue, Dorca is still the program director there?
Yep.
Great. All right, cool. Erica, we welcome you. Well, at least on behalf of the staff of the board, we welcome you and hope to continue seeing you. And, we like transparency. And if there's any way that we can be supportive to you guys, you have to let us know. That'll be great.
Okay, no problem.
And who is the management agent of that building, please?
It's we're community access. We're just completely separate from property management. The program staff, like we do program and property management, they're like completely separate departments. So we were only involved in the rent up on the program side, so the 112 supportive units, and the 103 community units is all handled by an external. We worked with a company that helped us lease up, but our property management department has all those stats on how many units went to the folks in the community board. So that would be our director of property management. It's new-ish, and I can't spell her last name, but I can send all that information over to Ralph.
Okay, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great, Joe. Thank you so much for that. But they run they do their own management, because remember they're social, they're supportive housing, so they provide their own management there. So
yeah, different than like the Breaking Ground CUCS. Like we're both. We do services and property management, just completely separate within our agency.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions?
Not a question, but being that they're so new, I know the community briefing has a council meeting tomorrow. You should invite. It's virtually, but you should invite your tenants. So if they do have any concerns, they can always reach out to them. It doesn't have to go through a 911 call. They can, and just have the community affairs welcome them, so that way they know what's going on in your building. I can give you that. I'll email you the information so you can have the community affairs officers. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, ladies. I don't see anyone having any further questions. We appreciate your presence and welcome to the neighborhood.
Wait, hold on. Paul Martinez has a question.
I'm sorry, Paul. I didn't see you. Hello. Happy New Year. You unmute yourself. You're still not unmuted.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you muted yourself again. Paul, you're still muted.
Unmuted, sorry. So the only quick question, I know you guys came to the board today to introduce yourselves and stuff like that and tell us about why didn't the management part also come in?
The management company?
Yeah, the management company part of it. Right.
I mean, this is not something that they would do. We can ask that they come, but that's not something that they do. They manage all of our buildings in all of our different boroughs. So it would be a lot for them to come to every single meeting that might be happening. But we can definitely set it up for the next time that we ask that they join, and you guys would be able to meet with them as well.
Yeah, we should have been a little more specific about. I just told her an update on the building itself. I wasn't even sure what kind of update. So.
Yeah, I know that there was neither one of us.
Yeah, and we haven't received any, Paul, to that extent. We haven't received any complaints. You know, we did know about the break-ins of the thefts, but I went I don't remember. I know there was like maybe one or two tenants started to move in. So I took a tour of the building with Chairman Crespo and Chairman Robinson. And we met with their, at that time, Director of Operations for Community Access and like the program director for that building. They, you know, were very accessible at the time. But we did mention about putting external lights on the outside of the building, which I think they did. Yeah. And they mentioned to us about the break-ins. So we brought that up to the precinct, and I think that's why Cynthia brings up a good point now in saying, you know, have at least some staff, because I know Dorka goes also to the precinct council meetings, and she attends the full board meetings, and that's very valuable. So nothing can escalate. You know, we don't want things going for a couple of months without it being properly addressed. And if you guys come to the meetings, you know, if anything comes up, we can bring it up and address it as quickly as possible. So to your point, Paul, I think it's good about the management. But if there is a point in need that we got to bring them in, it'll be to this committee. So you'll certainly be a part of that.
No problem. Thanks.
Ralph, can I ask just, so Erica and I weren't around at the beginning of the project when they were, you know, working on getting the property and all. So were you mostly in touch with Chris Lacavara and Cy Rolnick and the property management? Like, are those the names that you're familiar with?
Well, at that time, certainly with Chris, but it was, oh man, his name slips my mind. Oh, Steve. It was with Steve Cole originally.
Yeah.
You know, and then I know he retired. And, you know, I don't want to start beating a dead horse here, but community access has been in our district for quite some time, Jill. And it's only been very recent. That's why I'm trying to commend Dorka Rosa, because ever since she's came around, we see her. But prior to that, community access has been in this district for more than 10 years, and we had no communication with you guys, and there was always issues coming out of that building on Polite Avenue.
Sure.
So then you guys are now opening a second building and don't have the credibility that this community wanted you to have. So, like I said, I don't want to beat a dead horse here. We could move on, and I'm encouraging you guys to just.
For any of the
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So it's good to see you, and I just wanted to get some history there on why a lot of these, you know, when it comes to community access and board, and this particular community board, you know, we have experience with you guys already. So it has not been good. But I must say, within the last maybe 2 years or so, it was good that at least the program director was attending meetings. So there was any issues, and it was good for the program director to establish the line of communication with the precinct and other providers in the district, right? You know, we have other supportive housing programs. We have a lot of social services in general that your tenants there can benefit from, you know, a health clinic. We have the HRA office right across the Bruckner from you guys. We have a workforce employment. You know, we have a couple of local social service programs that your tenants can benefit from. And it just behooves you to stay in communication with myself and Cynthia and Danielle, my office, you know, and we can be, as like I offered already, as supportive as we possibly can. I just don't want it to be a point in time when that this committee that you guys have not been around for months and we've been having these concerns and they're not being properly addressed. That's what we need to avoid. We got to just stay proactive and take it from there.
Yeah, just a real quick, a little history about me. I worked for a community board for a number of years. I recognize the value of and importance of communicating and keeping in touch with you all. It's unfortunate. It was really sad for me to hear that we didn't have a great reputation when I came onto this project. I can say that Erica is equally as wonderful as Dorca. She's been with us forever and is going to remain in touch with you all without a problem. So nothing to worry about.
Great. Thank you so much, Jill. Thank you so much. And like I said, it's good to see you and Erica, and welcome to Bronx Community Board too.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Take care. Have a good night.
You too. Mike Nolan available?
Yeah, Mike, can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Mike. Happy New Year. We can hear you very,
Happy New Year.
I think you got to speak a little louder because it sounds like you're from far away, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I had to call in. Hold on a second.
Okay.
All right, can you hear me now?
About the same, but.
Yeah, I hear you though, Mike. I think you sound pretty good. Just if I gotta mute people, it's only you right now, Mike. So actually, I got a caller. If that caller is 646, can they just mute themselves? Because if not, if I mute you, it's gonna be hard. But Mike, the floor is yours. Thank you.
The 646-5880. That's me.
Oh, I see. You're still coming up here under your name. Okay, I got you though. It's just you. It's just you and me talking. The floor is yours, Mike.
Right. So on the call, I have with me David Kazam, who's our EVP, and I also have Awilda Rosado, who's our Director of Compliance, and I also have Luz Marie, who's our Lease Manager for PRC Tiffany.
You said David was from where?
David Kazam is our EVP for PRC.
EVP. Okay. And what was the young lady for compliance?
Awilda Rosado. She's our Director of Compliance.
Okay, and the last
Luz
one?
Luz Marie Rivera is our Leasing Manager for the PRC Tiffany building.
Wow. Thank you.
So I wanted to make sure I had enough people on who can give you the information that you need for the lease up for Tiffany, which we began the lease up, I want to say probably 2 months ago. We got TCO of the building back in October. Mid-October is when we got TCO. So we started leasing up shortly after that. So far, things have been going pretty good. What I'll do is I'll have Awilda and Luz Marie speak to the lease up a little bit more detail to kind of give you an idea of where we're at.
Okay.
I don't know if Awilda is muted or not.
They are muted. They could unmute themselves. Awilda spoke earlier, so I know she was here. She introduced herself.
Right.
All right. All right. I think Luz Marie is there. Luz, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So Luz, why don't you give us a kind of a brief overview of what's been happening with Tiffany so far?
Okay. So we actually got TCO on November 30th. We've been leasing up since then. There are 160 units in the building. 63 of those are designated for Community Board 2 applicants. At the moment, we have 20 Community Board 2 tenants moved in, and we have 43 in process. We should lease up this building by March 31st, so that's where we're at with the Community 2 Board applicants. 20 moved in, 43 remaining, all in process.
And so, you know, like you said, we do have some tenants living in the building now. It's not 100%. The plan is to have it hopefully 100% occupied by the end of March. We do have a full-time super that lives in the building. He's been there since October. And we also have 2 porters that are assigned to that building as well. So far, things have been going pretty smooth, even with, you know, the whole COVID-19 situation, which, you know, thank God things have been kind of going pretty smooth.
Okay. So the individuals, the super and the 2 porters, are they from the district, or do they live outside the district?
No, they're from the district. The super actually, I forgot which building he came to us from, but he's 32 BJ, and he lived in the district.
Okay. Thank you.
Paul, I know you have a lot of questions.
Yeah, because I'm trying to look at what you were saying. So it's 23. So it's 20 individuals from the board that currently are in the apartment already, right?
Right.
Correct.
Okay, and so the 43 that remain that's in the process, what does that mean? Are they, those are the 43 people that was chosen and already complete to move in? Are they going to be looked at and checked at this moment? What does that look like?
So those applicants are called from the lottery laws. They're in process, meaning we determined they were already Community 2 Board, and they're just submitting the documentation so we can submit to HCC. So they're still in process with documentation, and they just have to income qualify now.
Okay, so let's say out of the 43, 13 are not qualified. What do you do?
So we'll reach out. Well, we already reached out to over 300 applicants from the Community Board. So we'll go back to that waiting list. Yeah, we'll go back to that waiting list, which is the logbook. We'll go back to that logbook and then start contacting more of those applicants, come in and try to qualify.
Okay, thank you. And you have 24-hour security? Do you have security? Do you have cameras? Could you give me some
Yeah,
information?
we have cameras we have cameras in that building. We've actually put a lot more cameras there. You know, kind of learn from, you know, things of the past. So there is plenty of cameras, you know, throughout the building. We also have, right now, we have Foot Patrol that frequents that building for the next, you know, for however long we need them to. Okay, so do you have exterior and interior cameras? Are they in the staircase or just on the floors, or how does that? Could you give me some information on that? Yeah, they're exterior and interior. The staircases have not been installed yet. Those are pre-wired, you know, for us to install them at a later date. But we do have them on the floor and exterior. Okay, and are they linked to the precinct? To what? To the Fox Street buildings? No, to the precinct. The camera. Oh, the precinct has it. They have access to them. Okay. Okay. So I know you guys are aware of Reliant, right? Reliant does the cameras for Omni. Mm-hmm. So they do our cameras as well. Okay. Okay, I'm done with questions. Are there any questions among the?
Yes, Paula, we do have some questions.
Okay.
I know that Chairman Crespo was on. I don't know if he has any questions, but I know Cynthia has people. But I don't know if they want to talk. I think let's first get the questions of this building. Mike, if I'm being told that we might have questions regarding some of your other buildings, but I want to make sure that we address everything with Tiffany Street first. I'm happy to hear about the 63 apartments coming back to the board. Just I guess when that's one of our biggest concerns always, and I know that in particular with this committee is the number of units that are allocated back to the board. You know, whenever there's HPD financing involved, that we actually get those number of units. And with Housing Connect, it's supposed to be some type of reassurance. Mike, when you do get the that last tenant, that 63rd tenant from the community board, if you can just reach out to us and let us know that, that'd be great.
All right, shouldn't be a problem.
And Cynthia, I don't know if anyone else on this committee has any questions for them.
Joyce was logged on, but she got booted off. But she's on my cell phone, so she's on speaker. And Joyce, you have the floor.
Yes, I'm concerned about security at 975 Simpson, and all the other buildings on Simpson Street, 985, 1000, and what it is, there's a big problem with drugs. It's being sold in the buildings, along with outside the buildings, all along Simpson Street up to Westchester Avenue. This has been going on last year till now, but a year and a half or so, it's been building up. It's become scary and dangerous to live in these buildings and walk on this block. Our residents, including myself, I do not like to take garbage out at past 6 o'clock. I would not do that. It's like living in an old raggedy tenement when you got junkies hanging out in the hallway. We have homeless populations sleeping in these buildings on Simpson Street and taking drugs. I've seen them with their needles in their hand. They go back behind 985 Simpson Street to Main Line. We have a picture of one of them. This is going on too long, and our family shouldn't be subjected to this. And, and our kids and stuff. We're scared to go in the laundry room. They go in the laundry room, washing their hands or whatever, washing out their plastic bottles. They urinate in the building and stool on the staircases. They're sleeping, smoking cigarettes. Of course, they don't have masks on, so they don't have masks during COVID. We're afraid that somebody's going to fall asleep in there and with a cigarette. Last year, we had someone living on the third floor, 975, and he said a housekeeper with a reclining chair, shopping cart, and all his clothes, and he had the nerve to have company, charges his cell phone in the hallway. I want to know what is PRC going to do about it, because I've been told by John from their security place that they couldn't do anything because the city council do not want them to be arrested. I don't know what that law is and what they're not doing with that, but this is private property also with subsidies from HUD. We shouldn't have to go through this. This is too much money crossing hands in order to provide safe and secure apartments for our tenants. You know what I feel like? We're going back to the 70s. I'm hoping that nothing ever burns up in here because of what they're allowing these homeless people to sleep in these buildings. We call, they run them out, calling the police department. Sometimes I've called the police department up to 3 times in one day along with other tenants. And I want to know, what is PRC going to do about the homeless population? Mike is aware of my calls, I'm quite sure. I give them to him late at night, early in the morning, all day, and all night. What is going to be done to save these buildings and our lives living here on Simpson Street?
Well, I think that's a good question, and not a easy question to answer, being that, that's a situation that we face in not just those buildings on Simpson Street, but we've been facing those buildings over on 970 Kelly, 955 East 163rd Street. There's only but so much we can do as a management company to address the homeless issue. We call the police just like everyone else. We have security that comes in, they'll escort them out, they'll call the police. The issue we've always had was the police, they would escort them out, but they would come back right back. We've had that issue across town at some of the other projects.
And come back 1,000 per security at. Don't you
What's
have
that?
a security that I hardly ever see anymore? It seems like it gets dangerous here don't come out.
Hold on, guys. She's asking if you have roaming security because they
Yes, we
used
do.
to do it. He said yes, Joyce.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean,
I told them knock on my door so I know. Give me 2 taps. I like them because I want to know when they're in the building. And are they afraid of them? Or the homeless? Are they going to continue to allow them? And this is for the board, too. What can be done? The PRC gets big bucks. What can be done for our security? Why should the porters have to clean up syringes and syringes inside of the building and hanging outside like that? Something has to be done. I can't believe just because of the police run them back out. Our buildings, when we sign our lease indemnities, we have rules and regulations we have to follow. So you tell me the homeless population have more rights to live in here unlawfully than tenants have legally. We can get written up because we didn't follow rules and regulations, yet you have vagrants coming in here and living throughout these buildings. It's not enough just to say, well, you're having it with all the buildings. If you have it with all the buildings, then it's time to sit down with the owners, the police department, and the city council, and everybody else, the federal government, so that we can do something. Because I feel like we are under siege. We are going to lose these buildings, or we're going to lose our lives of property. This is real. I'm not imagining it. I'm not a drama queen. I'm a right queen. And I'm the right queen telling the righteous truth. And I know Mike understands that and know it. Furthermore, we keep calling Mike in. Where are the owners, unless Mike is the owner now? Where are the owners of these buildings and this property? We get them to come in for all these other properties from time to time, especially when they first build them and stuff. It's time to get the owners in here to talk to the owners, because I'm quite sure he's not the only one. He doesn't make all these final decisions.
Mike,
help us with that to move that forward with the owners speaking up and coming in. HUD coming in. We need HUD.
Mike, this is how
Okay, let him respond, Joyce.
I think Rob was going to say something.
Mike, this is Bobby Crespo. I think
that
what Joyce is saying, it's an unfortunate situation. I've been on the board 10 years, and 10 years I've been hearing the same complaints about the same complaints. The same complaints about the same 3 buildings, and something has to be happening. Either somebody's dealing big drugs and making big money out of your buildings, okay, or you guys are, and I'm not saying you, but your security guys are closing their eyes and letting things go on. We've had meetings with the police department and with you, and we're relying and saying, we welcome the police department, and for some reason or another, I still don't see, just like Joyce doesn't see, I don't see any improvements, Now, I don't know who Joyce was speaking to in your security department to say that the city councilman doesn't want them to be moved. I think that's a little out of range. I think it's more the mayor's office that doesn't want them to be moved and tells them that they can stay wherever they're at. But that doesn't mean that they have the right to be damaging the influence of life for these people that live there, that are paying their rent on time. For those who are paying their rent on time, if they are paying their rent, I mean, Mike, and I agree with Joyce, and I tell you now that I think that it's come to a point that we need to get the owners into the office to meet with them. And let them know either they're stripping your money for security and they're not giving you enough money, or the security company that you're using sucks. And I hate to say it like that, but it's got to be said like that. It sucks, or it's all of the above.
So let me take a step back and let me just put everything in perspective for everyone. I hear what you're saying, and
we sat down behind the time and we tried to work together, but I think his hands are tied.
All right,
I hear what everyone is saying, but I think this conversation is a little bit more deeper than trying to find a solution to it now. And what you're saying is nothing that I haven't said to every precinct commander for every building that I operate. I've had these conversations. And it's unfair to put that onus solely on a management company when we don't have the authority to arrest anyone. when we have security that's on a property, the only thing that security company can do is escort that person out or either call NYPD. NYPD would have to arrest that person and continue to arrest them. We've gone back and forth with the precinct. There is no more no trespassing. All of those things have been gone. They've been taken away from us. So if we call the precinct and say, listen, I have an issue at 923 Simpson Street. We've had a guy that's been loitering in our laundry room for over 2 months. We kick him out, he comes back. All right, so we call the precinct. You know what the precinct tells us? And I've had them tell me this myself. You need to call 311 a certain amount of times before the precinct even becomes involved. So as a management company, what does that do for us? It's the same as for the tenants. So when I speak up and I say, well, you know, we're here for the tenants. How do we protect them? And this is what you're telling the management company. So, yeah, you know, we can get the owners in and we can have a conversation, but we also need to get the precinct in as well. They need to be held accountable. And Bobby, what you said about having the mayor come, yeah, maybe someone from the mayor's office needs to address it as well, because this is a citywide epidemic. It's not just those 4 buildings in the Bronx. We have issues over on Vice Avenue, Monterey Avenue, Featherbed Lane, Andrews Avenue. I could go on and on and on. It's an issue that is beyond all of us that are on this call right now.
No, and I understand that, Mike, and I respect it, but I think that it's all coming to a head. You know, the people that live on Simpson Street really, really have problems.
Yeah.
And if we have to bring in the PD, we'll bring them in, and we'll have another meeting again. But this time we'll be a little stronger with PD if we have to. But to tell me that, or to tell Joyce, or tell anybody on this call, on this meeting, that you know, your hands are tied, I think it's a little disingenuous. Your hands are not tied.
I never said that my hands are tied.
That was Joyce that said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
my hands aren't tied, and you guys know that. You could call me anytime, and I'll be there and have this conversation with everyone.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We if we know that there's problems on Simpson Street, all of those buildings there, all four buildings that are there, or 5 buildings, I forgot how many there. But if we know that we're having problems there, and you know you're having problems there, and the precinct knows they're having problems there, then we need to find out how come your buildings are connected to the precinct and we're not getting any response or any service. That's an easy, okay? That's not nothing great, nothing out of this world. What I do care about is your budget for security being streamlined, where, you know, if it's a troubled building, then maybe it's a building you need 2 people there or 3 people. I don't know, you know, but I do know that I'm going on 10 years now, and 10 years I've been hearing the same story from the same buildings, from the same people, and it's like, what's going on?
Can I ask a question? Mike, I just want to ask a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Mike, are there cameras in the building?
Yes.
Okay, so the cameras are linked to the precinct, because I recall, I think it was in 2019 where we had this meeting with the precinct, and I thought your relationship with getting help and with the buildings were good. So now I'm hearing that something different. So I want to make a suggestion, Mike. Maybe do PRC encourage tenants associations?
If it will help, I mean, Joyce has been spearheading that, you know, prior to me even coming to PRC. So, you know, listen, I will welcome anything.
Okay, because I know as a tenant of Banana Kelly, we had like a resident council, which was consisted of tenants in the building. And what happened was with the buildings that had problems like drugs, you know,
Buenas noches. Es mi Altagracia.
Breaking in the building, damaging property. What happens was that they would have someone from the management company be a mediator with the tenants that were having a problem. Either, like for instance, you have some tenants that will let them in the building, and people will see that tenant letting people in the building. Managers will put that person in and mediate with them and tell them, listen, you live here, everybody else lives here, we need a safe condition. You letting them in the building is a danger. Next time your lease is up for signing, you jeopardize being re-signed. And then, you can look at some situations like that to come up with solutions with the problems that you're having in the building. Like Bobby said, we need to come together and collaboratively figure out and give these tenants a concrete solution to this problem that has been ongoing. It's not fair. It's not right. And
hold on, if I can just interject real quick. I was looking at Paul Martinez, and I'm thinking he's having the same issues because he was nodding along with what was going on with PRC. So maybe it's not just PRC and it's management, like something that's just going on in the area.
Yeah, I agree.
It's epidemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what Mike was saying. I work for Wayfirst Management, so I have the same problems in my buildings as Mike is having. We do have Reliant. We do send people in. We do have problems where police department comes in, they'll take someone out, and the next day or the hours back, they're right back at the same site.
Well, who's letting them in? Who's letting them in the building?
I think sometimes they just follow tenants going in.
But see, that's the
tenants,
problem.
I've sent out notices to all my tenants to basically make sure that they lock the door behind them and don't let anyone follow them in. I told my tenants also if their intercom is not working or if someone buzzes you in, not to let anyone in unless you know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
We've given out those memos, but I feel believe me, I feel what you're saying, Mike, because it's the same thing on my end as well.
Paul and Mike.
We got drug residents that ring them in, that sell to them and use drugs with them on a staircase. They're not just coming in because I'm not trying to stop somebody following me coming in. I know they're druggy. Okay?
Hello.
I'm trying to do fast to get the door closed, but I'm not going to do that. We have tenants who live in these buildings that's melodic are on the lease, and they burst in and they go with them to their apartments on the staircase to where they live.
Right. Joyce, I agree with everything you've said. I definitely agree with everything you said. And Bobby, I said the same thing. I think we should bring someone from the mayor's office to represent them and go over these things.
And here's the
I can't believe Mike is just ignoring it because we sat down too many times for too many years since he's been here. But this is breaking the relationship with M&I. Our romance is almost over because of this. You know what I'm saying? This is not working too well. And you know what the thing in this is? It's going to spread to these new buildings.
So here's what and Ralph, are you on? He's on. Okay.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm listening to everything.
I'm right here
too. They got more tenants in those buildings and sing. Look at that. Imagine that turns to what this is on.
All right, Joyce, they're gonna talk now to see what could be done. So I'm going to mute you.
Ralph.
Hello, I'm here.
We heard you.
Deme un minuto.
Okay, thank you.
What I would suggest.
I'm waiting to say something.
I hear you. What I would suggest, Ralph, is that we talk to the captain. Where there's a cluster where we're having the problem is on Simpson Street. Maybe the captain can start creating a permanent foot patrol on that particular avenue. And maybe the uniform presence will move those people away from the buildings, or at least they'll be worried. And not only for 4 or 5 hours, 3 tours a day for as long as it takes for this to get cleared up. Because that's what's happening. There is no uniform. There's no support to the security guys. Now, to the management companies, here's the problem. If you're saying that people walking in behind the residents and the security guy threw the guy out already, then the security guy should be at the door saying, wait a minute, you don't belong with these people, out you go. And even if he says he does belong with them, I'm sorry, you was trespassing, we want you out, they don't want you in the building. Period. I know that's not a trespassing law. I know there's no trespassing law, but somewhere along the way, the security guys need some support.
But the thing, Bobby, too, if they have the tenants that are letting these people in, the issue is why they lease being renewed. Management has to take a stance on whether or not they're going to continue renewing this lease of the people that are jeopardizing other tenants' safety.
Okay, can I say something? Can I say something in that?
Dr. Gracia, just a minute. We know you're there. Just give us a second.
Yeah, no, but I want to say something because I know a couple of things. The landlord knows, and I spoke to them in the police department, and the thing going now through. And I hear you say, and I want to say something too.
And what right after I finish now, Gracia, you could say what you want to say. But let me just say, I have the same problem across the street in NYCHA. I have an apartment that was creating the problem. They were constantly letting people in to buy drugs, to do smoke in the hall and everything. What did we do? We got together and constantly putting pressure on management, and management threw them out. They moved them out of the building. 3 times I've done this in the same building. Okay? 3 times I've done it, and 3 times I've been successful. And Paula is correct. There's got to be something in your lease that says that they cannot be bringing in people that are constantly creating a problem to the community of that building. And if there isn't, then you should be incorporating it and then moving on it. Because even though housing doesn't want to throw people out, but when they become a problem to the community, when they become a problem to the community, and the way you know they become a problem to the community is if the police have to be called constantly for that same apartment.
That's right. Okay, Altagracia.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. I don't know what they're gonna say. Okay, thank you to PLC, Mr. Manola or Joyce. I don't know. Everybody's there. I thank you very much. You know how I feel because I wanted doing this or they doing this time like that for a couple of months because we are rough. We speak a couple of times of different situations. Sometimes I do a lot of things for the community. I confronting all of them and seen some. I'm not gonna say down there and that side is not. All over, white, brown, a different color. The over here is more worse. What's the place when the Chapo and the other people hang it out in Mexico? We are the same way, all the way. And I can tell you, and I can say this one, because I'm the one, when I have to say something and I say, no, we have to fix it, I said it because the police department know. And PLCs know many times what's going on, and I don't put my finger to cover nobody. A lot of people see what happened in the community, and I see the nerve. When they have to do something, they don't express. We got a lot of those things aquí in this side in Simpson. They got selling every kind of drug in Simpson. It's not only marijuana. They got a dope. They got pastilla. They got crack. They got the one they put mixed with the marijuana. That's what my little son smokes. And that's why he don't live with me because I'm feel sad for him because that's my son. Even he don't born, I raising him. And I raising him in this community because he's born here and his mother was born here. But what I got put to him out of my house because the drug that he using is dangerous. One day he can kill me or he can do something or maybe to defend myself, I have to beat him on him. And I don't want it to happen. And the police department know that. Many times I call the police department, they take him away because he says danger for him and for the community. Well, you know, and 985 Simpson, they live in there. And Mike, no, because I spoke to Mike. 940 Simpson, they live in there. 941, I know it's not PRC, but they live in there. 995, some of them living and some of them was living before, but they here in the $1 cent, they got it. So we got it all over, and people, they go into the building. It's family or friend of them, and plus the people, they renting the apartments for $150 and $200 every week. Forget it, one room in the apartment. They doing. Now, a couple of them, you know what they're doing now? They let the apartment to somebody and leave to another country. And who's going to get messed up? The people, the old people, the little ones, and people, maybe they work and they are still serious that they pay for that mistake. So
that
they
seems
have
like a
police
management problem.
Yes, that we got a lot of situation big. If you don't see it because you don't want to see, come to Southern Boulevard. And 163, come to Simpson. From Westchester to Barrero. And you're going to be see a lot of things. In fact, between Fast and Barrero and 163, those little houses, those people, they live in there, they selling to. And they go to 930 Fast and go to first floor, fifth floor, and I think the other one is the third or the fourth floor. They cross one side to the other. Come on, PLC, the manager, she got 2 months, she don't answer the phone. We don't got nobody because I hear a lot of people in the building say they calling and they don't hear nothing. I got a 3 discotheque on the 6th floor over here. 3 discotheques, they put the music for 72 hours. I call 911, I call 311. Even they help me and they talk to the police. In my ear, I hear when they talk. But they still got a 3 discotheque on the 6th floor. 6D, and 6F. That's the discos right here in Simpson. Well,
okay, Mike, there seems like that's a management problem, Mike.
Yeah, and the new building.
Yeah, I've already dealt with that issue with
and the new building
I've spoken to her about that before.
But, Mike, do they have any information in the buildings to let tenants know that they need to call 311 when they're having problems and situations?
Yeah, we sent out notifications to tenants.
In both Spanish and English?
All our buildings, yep.
Okay. So I think that management or someone in management needs to be more visible in the buildings where the tenants could come. And, you know, you need to try to, like, organize some meetings and personally speak. If you don't have any interaction with your tenants, they feel lost. And like Bobby said, this is an ongoing situation. Management has to get off their backs and be more engaged in the building if they have any concern or care for the tenants. You got to get somebody in there to just, those people who are nuisance,
Paul, I understand, but I don't, to be honest, you guys know me well enough to know that we're more than involved. But for you to say that, you know, management isn't, I can't sit back and accept that because we do.
So,
everyone,
okay, so let me ask you something.
Everyone,
when's the last
my staff,
time you've been to the building and had a meeting with the tenants, Mike? If
we
you don't
hadn't
mind me
had one
asking.
during COVID. You know, I can't. We're gonna say we had one last year. No, we didn't. You know, it's been a while since.
Okay, so let's speak prior to COVID.
What's that?
Prior to COVID, could you recall how many? Are you the only manager in PRC though? Can I ask? Because I know you're very involved and engaged.
You know, a lot of the tenants have direct access to the managers. You guys know that.
Right. No, pero Mike, the manager now, I got almost 2 months to try to connect and leave a messenger, and I don't hear nothing. I spoke to the super, I spoke to sometime when I see Ralph Acevedo or Cecilia. That's it, because I can reach nobody. I try. Even sometimes I go around the building in the morning, but I don't see them. I saw you, Susan, but I don't see those ladies.
Let me see. Okay. Well, we're going to try to arrange a meeting with all the parties that you need to be engaged and involved. And we're gonna try to see if Ralph or Bobby can set that up, and it will be NYPD, PRC, the security, and the elected officials.
And when you do that, Paula, you know, to me it sounds like everyone is singling out PRC. I would like to have other management. Listen to me. You know, I would like to have the other management companies that are in the area, including Wave Press or whoever else is there.
Okay.
I want them present too, so that it can be talked on a global stage, not just by PRC.
They're having the same problems. Yeah, no, we're not singling you out. They're having the same issues. With a big meeting like this, everyone should be involved.
Mike, I'll definitely be there.
All right, appreciate that, Paul.
Mike, what we're just trying to say is that we know that you're proactive, but I think you're depending too much on that other company, that other security reliance, and honestly, it's not to me. Well, in the last couple of years, you brought that guy. He keeps mentioning how he's a captain, how he was a captain in NYPD. He knows everybody in the 411, but you still have the same problem every day. Okay?
Yeah, that's different.
And so, you know, for a guy that knows everybody in the 411, I don't think he knows the roaches in the 411. You know? And if you bring him, I'm going to tell him just like that. Because honestly, this should not be happening. This should not be happening.
We got to come up with some type of solution.
Just as great as your new person going up like Tiffany. So,
all right.
Somebody mute their thank you. I hear the background noise. Cause everyone mute their mic, please. I hear background noise of veins. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so Mike, I hope you don't feel like you've been beaten up on or feel offended, but we, you know, this is a concern of the tenants, and we're going to try to come together and partner with bringing up solutions. We're going to try to see if we can get that meeting sometime soon with the other management companies along with PRC in the district that might have the same issues, and we'll get back in touch with you.
Paula,
listen. Let me make it clear. I don't feel like
someone's sitting there.
I don't feel like you guys are beating me up. I understand the concern that everyone has on the call. You know, I have that same concern. You know, not that I don't live in the Bronx now, but I am a native of the Bronx, so I do understand the issues that are there. You know, we've had, like I said before, we've had these issues in other buildings where we had to fight. You know, just to give a quick example, you know, I have a building on Monterey Avenue. I had to fight for 3 years to get a guy out of there. 3 years it took us to get a guy banned from it.
Okay.
So these are issues that we face all over. So, you know, I take it serious.
Okay. All right. I think there needs to be some tenant committees or something.
Paula.
Yes.
Paula. Yes. This is Maggie. Include my management office up in there too.
Okay.
I'll send you the information.
Thank you. Are there any more questions from everybody on the team concerning PRC? The Tiffany building, please.
And the Tiffany building, they got a lot of young people. Because I see already, and I interviewed a couple of them, they moving. And there's people the same or more work than what we got here. Because I don't believe in that. Those people they doing the lottery. That I don't believe in that.
Okay, thank you, Auntie Garcia.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Bobby, Ralph, you have any questions? Cynthia, no one.
Nah, I'm just happy that Mike brought his whole team with him here. I appreciate that, Mike.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Nah, no problem.
Moving on.
All right. You guys have a good one. I got to run.
Thank you.
All right.
Is there any new business? Anyone?
Is Banana Kelly on, or did they not even show up?
Is there anyone on Banana Kelly on the line?
We have two callers, but I'm not too sure who they are.
Kelly, are you on the line?
No, they're not on.
No.
Reschedule them for next month.
Okay.
So you could just go down the agenda then.
Okay, wait. I'm trying to see it. I lost the agenda. I see this flyer for National Wear Red Day Friday, which is Friday coming up, February 5th. If everyone could wear red in recognition of heart health awareness, it would be appreciated. I don't have control of the agenda. Okay. Also, the New York Yankees Community Council Youth Leadership, I'm pleased to inform you that the New York Yankee Community Council will be providing a number of deserving local youth with the opportunity to receive Youth Leadership Awards. So that means they're accepting applications for the Yankees Leadership Award, New York Yankees. So where's the deadline? Okay. Applications must be received by Monday, March 15th. So if you have a youth, a child, a grandchild, and that you think would be interested in earning $750, they have to submit a resume. I mean, not a resume. I'm sorry.
You're right. A resume.
A resume, and they have to do an essay too, right?
And a cover letter.
Either or they could do both. But the criteria actually changed this year because of COVID. So it's on the memo, but for the most part, it's from the ages 14 to 21. 14 to 21. They have to have done 50 hours of community service, and the committee that reviews the applications, they actually do check up to see if they are volunteering with an organization. So we can't just say, oh, I'm gonna nominate my friend's daughter just because. They actually do research.
Okay.
Paula, I wanted you at a meeting in the next meeting.
Excuse me?
I wanted you invited at a meeting in the next building.
She want what?
In the next meeting.
We want you to add Ismini from Phoenix State to the next meeting.
To what?
Paula, she was just on last month.
Yeah, she was
last
month.
A lot of things that she said last month, she had to return back phone calls and explain what's going on. And I am still waiting for the phone call. Cause she said the next day she's going to call me, and I never got a call.
I can follow up with Ismini with an email tomorrow. We can do that. No problem. I'll have a file. My email will say to call you, Altagracia. Is that okay?
Huh?
My email to her will say for her to call you. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so there's another the construction project single lane restriction westbound on Bruckner Boulevard between Bronx River and Whitlock Avenue in the Bronx on or about Friday, January 29th, which was last Friday at 5 a.m. through Monday, March 15th till 5 a.m. So, is this the construction that they're doing in that section from the Sheridan at when you go past Whitlock to go on to 145th Street? Ralph?
This is on the other side on Whitlock. So it's affecting boards 3, I'm assuming 3 and us, board 2.
But is it going northbound or southbound?
No, it's going westbound. It's going southwest.
Oh,
okay. It's going southbound. It's coming like if you're coming from Whitlock towards Hunts Point.
And this is from the, if I'm not mistaken, this is from the extension.
Yeah, this is part of the Sheridan. This is part of the Sheridan Expressway project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're doing some construction, but they're just going to close it down from those hours, 5 a.m.
No, but it's almost a month and a half here.
Right. So they're going to start closing
at 5 a.m.
Right.
No, that's the time when they'll start, but on or about the 29th at 5 a.m. through Monday, the March 15th at 5 a.m. So those are not just start times. It could be any time.
Oh, okay.
And they'll be done at 5 a.m. on March 15th.
Oh,
but we met with them at the, was it at this committee that they came? Or was it at the ECHO committee?
I think it was
Right,
ECHO.
they came at the ECHO committee, and all of the major construction will occur on the overnight hours.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. And they're always going to leave at least 2 lanes open. We had a big issue over a month ago when they had 1 lane and it caused traffic all over the place. So that's that.
That's what I was going to say. Okay. So we have another notice here from Peter Dugard, and it's addressing Peter Dugard, the owner of the above property, will commence demolition of a 2-story structure once the New York City Department of Buildings issue all demolition permits. The location is 851 East 167th Street. Oh, that's the Fort Apache? Is that the location of? No, it can't be.
No.
Yeah.
No, 851. I don't know what's actually there yet.
It's
but these are notices that we get, and just keeping everyone informed. Normally, Cynthia writes them on the agenda. So, we got another one here.
We have another one.
We had this one already. This one came to us already.
Okay.
They're doing demolition over here also. So just notifications. Yeah.
Okay.
And this one also. These are the ones that about 2 or 3 meetings ago, Bobby had asked me to look into them, and they're 100% legit. They the Department of Buildings issued these permits because they're gonna do some excavation, and I think they're both already done. But they sent us like duplicates letters, and we're just putting it on here. That's it. That's the last of it.
Hello?
Paula, you still there? Paula?
Ralph, we got 2 notices that I asked you about. The one from the LCP, the bank note.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I thought Ray would be on here. So we did get a notice today from the Landmarks Preservation Commission about starting the construction on the banknote building, 838 Barretto Street. 838, 839 Barretto Street or something like that is what it was. So we did get that notice late this afternoon. So that's why we couldn't add that on here. But that was one that we approved, I think, 2 months ago. This committee approving, and it went to the full board.
Right. I remember that.
And then we got another, I actually received an email regarding a tenant fair that they're trying to, oh no, where's this email? I'm sorry, Ralph. Okay, right here. From Philip Tavera of HPD, he's trying to do a virtual tenant resource fair on the 23rd, the 24th, or the 25th of this month. So he did send me the email today, and I forwarded it to Ralph.
23rd, the 24th, and the 25th?
Or the 25th, not and.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he's asking which day would be best? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So he sent this to me. I can forward this to you as well, but I just wanted to
send it to Paula, because I'm not sure, what he's looking at. I think they want to have the fair virtual and have us blast it out to people.
Okay.
So then this is where I guess Paula,
right,
City in particular, people can inform all the tenants to join.
Yeah.
And issues that were just presented to PRC, issues that Paul Martinez presented, Altagracia, Joyce. This is a good time that we can bring it to HPD's attention also.
Yeah. Okay.
So just keep that in mind. But Cynthia, send Paula that email. And Paula, you should, because I don't know if you leave it up to us, we'll designate a date. But I think it should come from you. And if you have any issues, then we'll do it. And then I think about creating a flyer. That's the main conversation we need to have. Like, who's going to do the outreach, Cynthia? You know, if they're depending on us, that's something that we're gonna have to blast every day, something like that. You know, to get as many participants as possible. So, but yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Cynthia, because I know that came back in today.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
We have also Justin Amarella from the City Planning Commission on. I don't know if he wants anything to say. And we have Linda Sayad from HPD. You know, she works with Ted. I don't know if she has any announcements.
Hi, this is Lena. Lena Saad from HPD.
Lena.
I don't have any announcements, but thanks.
Thank you, Lena, and thank you for staying on. As you can see, we have very fruitful and healthy conversations with our management companies that receive financing from your luxurious department. So send Ted our regards, please, especially from Chairman Crespo.
Okay, will do.
And Paula too. Thank you. Okay, guys, is that it for now tonight?
Paula, I just want to say that the community benefits fund from the Yankees, where community groups that are 501c3s that can apply for up to $15,000. The application, you get it off a line. It's a 3-page proposal. It's a 3-page proposal, and it's very simple. You can ask for tickets. You can ask for $1,500 if that's all you need, or up to $15,000. It doesn't mean you're going to get the $15,000, but you can if you write up a very good proposal. So it's online, and it's Bronx Yankee Fund, which is FUND.org.
Crespo, I actually have the information you're talking about. I have the actual form, so I can scan it and email it to everyone here.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
I have the small grant one, and I have the large grant one as well.
Yeah, you're right. And if anybody asks or wants to know the small grant one, you can use it for the tickets only. You don't have to be a 501c3 to get tickets. You can be a tenants association, a block association, and you don't have to be incorporated. So you just got to fill it out, and then
that's great.
And then the staff, and then my staff at the foundation will let us know.
Oh, that sounds great. Okay. Is there any other announcements?
No. Well, after this meeting, I'll send out the agenda that has all of the attachments, as with the Yankee information as well. Okay. So everyone that's here, I'll send it out to everyone.
Yeah, and Paula, I want to also acknowledge that you have all 6 of this committee members are present.
Wow.
Joyce, Altagracia, yourself, Paul, Guadalupe, and I'm sorry, and Jeffrey. So all 6 of your members were present today. So that's
much,
good.
Guys.
Yeah, I want to acknowledge. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You know, I say something on the appreciation. That's me, is those people, they're worrying about, the community.
The what?
What?
Those people, they here now in the meeting, they there because they thinking about the community. They love the community and they want to work in the community.
Oh, yes, agree.
Oh, yes, that's our purpose and our goal.
Okay,
all right, cool. So let's get a motion, Paula, going.
Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I make a motion.
Okay, Altagracia motion. Who's second?
Second by Bobby.
Thank you. And it's 7:19. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day.
Take care. Take care, Sin.
All right.